Hey guys, welcome to the Hollywood Raw YouTube page. Make sure you drop a comment, like, subscribe.
Do all the fun things.
Follow
everything. We're here to entertain you guys.
What are you waiting for? Hurry up, let's go.
Enjoy. Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. It is that time. It is time for our weekly Raw rundown. I'm Dax Holt, joined by Adam Glyn over there, who's got his wonky fucking eye. Why didn't you wear an eye patch, bro?
Brother, I was considering wearing an eye patch because it's just like day 5 now. I still have pink eye. I went to like a doctor. They sent me to another doctor. I'm on steroids. It's so embarrassing. I was supposed to shoot something for a headphone company and I had to cancel it because of this eye. And then like you can't even walk around because everyone like just judges you. Like wherever you go, they're just like I had to go to the bank before. And even though I'm not contagious because I'm on medicine, the person just is like doesn't want to look at me or like doesn't want to ask. It's just a really awkward, uncomfortable interaction.
Why don't you just wear like sunglasses or something? Or a bag, or just don't go out. It's
hard to wear I'm not that guy who's wearing sunglasses inside. Like wearing sunglasses inside a bank is not really the best idea.
Not a good look for you.
No, it's not. It's not.
I love it. Well, I hope you feel better. Get a hot compress on that eye of yours.
I'm trying,
because I don't want to have to look at this for another week. Okay, this is about my needs. Anyway,
thank you guys for stories of the week. This is the Raw rundown. This is where we give you the top 10 stories of the week, so you know a little bit what's going on in the world of entertainment news before the weekend. Before we do that, we read some reviews. That's right. If you actually leave us a review, we'll actually read your review live on air. It's the best thing to do to support us. Dax, do you have a review ready for us?
Yeah, I'm going to do one because it's a long one, so it's going to take me a hot second here. But this one comes from Star in the ATX. It says, incredibly well done. 5 stars. Your podcast is far from perfect, let alone streamlined, as well as with as much quality as perhaps all things should be, or it should be, all things considered. But that's what makes it so great, because both hosts are on separate coasts. It makes it seem like they're much further. But the minor audio mishaps is what makes this podcast charming and real. Yes, your topic is Hollywood and all its forms, which is interested from the outside looking in, but more than anything, it's the dialogue between the two hosts, as both their carefree way of bringing the news, and I like how they did news in quotes, by the way, because it is entertainment, quote-unquote news, that makes this podcast a gem to listen to. Their guest lineup can range from anything and everything, which makes that so much more fun to listen to. So all thank you to Dax and Adam for thinking outside the box, and I hope you continue to captivate audiences far and wide. Stay cool. Haynes, no need to butcher my name on your podcast because, yes, it is highly difficult to pronounce. My friends call me Star, as that is ultimately what my name means. Whew. Well, thank you, Star. That was
so
an
nice,
incredibly long review, but
very appreciated.
Greatly appreciated. And I like that
thank you to her dad for screwing our audio. Yeah. What are we doing?
But we do have a lot of audio issues, and I'm sorry. We're still working through a lot of that stuff. But yeah, we're trying, guys. We're trying for all of you, and hopefully you guys stop on by and give us these critiques on our private Facebook group off the record, because that's where we're loving chatting back and forth with you guys. And whenever there's an issue, I go there first to be like, hey, I'm sorry. Here's a new version or whatever.
Yes. On to the top 10 stories of the week, starting with number 10. Dax, what do we got?
Number 10, Emma, who is Bruce Willis's wife, Emma Hemming Willis. She put out a plea to all the paparazzi out there and fans, basically saying, hey, listen, I understand that there is a lot of curiosity. There's a lot of interest surrounding Bruce Willis. His diagnosis is basically dementia is what's happening. And so she's like, I get that people want to see him out. I get that people want to take photos of him out or yell at him and all that kind of, not like, but like cheer kind of yell, say hi to him. She goes, so she just kind of put out a little like public service announcement where she said, I'm in service of raising awareness around dementia because that's my goal. If you are someone out there that is looking after someone with dementia, you know how difficult and stressful it can be to get someone out into the world just to navigate them safely, even just to get a cup of coffee. And she says, It's clear there's still a lot of education that needs to be put out forth. So this is one that's going out to all the photographers and video people who are trying to get those exclusives of my husband out there. Just please keep your space. She goes, I know it's your job, but just keep your space. And then she kind of said the same thing for people that are fans. She goes, for the people that are yelling at my husband, asking him how he's doing or whatever, and the woohooing and yipping and all that kind of stuff, it's okay. Just give him a space. Allow for our family or whatever with him or whoever's with him just to be able to get him from point A to point B safely. That's my PSA. And I felt like that was such a good way to do it. Not like, fuck the paparazzi for like taking photos because people are interested, but like, hey, if you're going to be out there, do your stuff. Just allow there to be space in between us so he's not crowded and he feels threatened.
Yeah, I thought it was great. It's it's always great when someone says, "I understand your job." So I think I think she laid it all out there. I think it's a good way to handle it, because it's tough. I mean, the only other option is to not kind of live where they do. Like, don't live in L.A. And I don't think people would bother him. However, it is a hot photo. It is a hot video. People want to see how he's doing. Because he's not really in the public eye as much. So yeah. I get both sides, but I think Emma actually handled this very, very well.
Not only that, like she's using it as a learning moment for all those people who don't understand dementia or don't or are going through it with themselves with a parent of theirs or whoever in their life, and goes, it's okay. This can be a learning experience for everyone, but let's do it in a respectful way. Love it.
Yes, that's very good. All right, number 9.
Number 9, Pete Davidson and Chase Suey Wonders crashed this week into a fire hydrant in Beverly Hills and basically into a home. It was a single-car crash, no one else involved, but they were both uninjured, according to reports. So officers responded to calls of a crash about 11:12 p.m. on Saturday in a residential area in Beverly Hills near an intersection of Rodeo Drive and Elvando Avenue, I think is what the other street's called. They found a wrecked car, 4-door Mercedes-Benz. It was damaged. It hit a city fire hydrant, and so water was just spraying up into the air. They did make it sound like speed might have been involved and not the drug, just like fast driving. They didn't say anything about drugs or alcohol being involved in this. We do know that the representatives for Pete and Chase, no one has commented on this whole thing. But TMZ obviously got photos. You see kind of like the car marks going across the front lawn. Not a good look, though, I got to say, Adam. Not a good look for him or her.
No. Well, here's the thing. So obviously it was an accident. It looked like it was caused with speeding. I had talked to a source directly with Pete, and they said he was fine. I said, how's he doing? They just said he just goes back to his normal life, what he's working on. He's working on writing some projects. What was interesting, I said to them, what happens with something like this is the media outlets, all the news outlets are calling, trying to see, this is what the news outlets were doing. They were calling, trying to get in touch with the neighbors and trying to see if the neighbors had their surveillance cameras or any sort of the Ring cameras so they could see the video. And what happens with
that's what
this,
you want. You want video. At the end of the day, someone has to have video, and that's what you're trying to get your hands on.
So all the news outlets were calling the neighbors, trying to get access to the Ring cameras or if they had surveillance cameras to see the video. What this does is puts the pressure on the police. Now, the police say, what they're saying now, according to the report, that drugs or alcohol were not related. But, because it is a celebrity and there's a lot of people looking into the story more, that they're putting the pressure on the police where the police are going to start investigating this more because they don't want to be out investigated by the media. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. You mean like the time that you went and got the bong
Amanda
off the
Bynes?
roof and
yeah.
and outwitted the police in New York? Yeah, like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they look like idiots then?
So here's the part that I found that was interesting. 2 days later, Chase Suey Wonders, Pete's girlfriend, she went to the Knicks game by herself and was photographed. And I think what they were trying to do is, Pete wasn't with her, but I think it was like, hey, just go out, get photographed, and say like, yeah, you're just going about your life and trying to get rid of this story and trying to put it in the back burner. But it doesn't look like there was any foul play. I think they've been looking for a while now, and they didn't find anything. So it seems like it was just an accident. I'm sure someone's getting paid pretty well. And on to another week of Pete Davidson. It's just, it was what it was. But there's not much there, but everyone is trying to look into it, and I know reporters are trying to figure out what exactly happened, but it looks like it was just...
I'm myself curious. Was this like them racing down the street? Did they hit a patch of water because it was raining out? Like, what the hell was the case, you know?
Yeah. No, exactly. All right, number 8.
Number 8, Will Smith still hasn't personally apologized to Chris Rock for the whole Oscar slap. Obviously, this is getting a ton of attention right now, not only because the Oscars are coming up this weekend, but also because Chris Rock's Netflix special, Selective Outrage, has dropped. Everyone's talking about it. You know, he was kind of... This is the first time that he's actually referenced or talked about the whole incident, and he kind of really laid into Will Smith in the comedy stand-up routine. But not only that, you know, he said that he watched Will Smith's movie Emancipation just to see him get his ass whooped, which is a funny joke. But it sounds like there's still quite a bit of animosity there. And I'm not going to lie, Adam, I really liked that Chris Rock didn't speak up for a long time. I felt like it made him really like look like the stand-up guy in this whole thing. But then to hear his comedy, I'm like, I almost feel like it put a negative light on him because he was like just bashing him.
Yeah. I'm getting there's so many stories that came from this. There's some stories saying that because Rock has always been obsessed with Jada Pinkett, and that's part of the reason why he filmed it in Baltimore, was to kind of go after her. That part I don't know.
They responded and they said he does numerous shows there a year. Like, don't look into that. That's not something. He's got a good audience in Baltimore. That's all they said there.
I would just love to know the truth. I want to know everything what happened, but I don't think we'll ever find that out. I want to know if Will reached out. I want to know if there was some payment involved. I would love to know everything that happened.
So they're saying, though, that Will had tried calling directly after, but Chris wasn't in the mood to answer it at that time, and so he didn't. And then it seems like there's been no follow-up, at least my understanding. There's been no follow-up from Will's side, and so they're using that as well. He's never apologized personally. Well, on that note, if Chris didn't pick up the phone, it's nice to hear Will actually tried, right? Like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, if he picked up the phone, he tried, and he's like, okay, if Chris is not ready for an apology, it is what it is. How long are you supposed to keep trying?
True.
You know, like, at a point, you got to be over it. The person doesn't want to talk to you, they don't want to talk to you. But you can't make the headlines all about he hasn't apologized. Well, you didn't fucking pick up the phone.
Yeah, there's going to be... I have to imagine what's going to happen is there's going to be some middleman who's both friends and very close with Chris and both very close with Will, and say, listen, you guys need to talk. You guys need to figure it out. But again, besides the apology, I want to know exactly what happened and if there was some payout. I don't know if we'll ever hear the truth of it, really what happened.
My thought is, though, I just feel like Chris could have used this moment, finally speaking about it, in such a better way that's like a more comedic way. And I feel like he railed on him so bad that, yeah.
I don't know if they get it.
I don't know if it got like across what should have gotten across. Like them coming out and shaking hands or something else, I feel like would have been such a bigger moment than this.
Who knows? The Oscars are this week, so they could both come out, shake hands, and we move on.
But I don't think Will's allowed to be there, so I don't think it's possible, right?
I don't know. I don't know. Then it's one of those things where I guess it's up to Chris. If Chris allows it, I don't know. There's so many things up in the air.
Like he took like such a high road, which I loved, and there could have been a funny, I don't know. It's easy to say from someone who didn't get slapped by Will Smith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it. I do think it's funny how great that Chris Rock did his stand-up special. And at the stand-up special, I didn't watch the whole thing yet, but he didn't talk about the Will Smith until the end. And I thought that was so good. Well,
what's funny is everyone started talking about it. Every news outlet talked about it, and you have to watch the whole show to get there.
Yeah. Exactly. I think it was just great. I think it was really good how they handled it. I think that was a very smart way of handling it. All right, number 7.
Number 7, Nick Cannon messing with everyone when he was talking about Who Wants to Have My Baby. It's a part of a new TV show called Celebrity Prank Wars. So if you saw, there was a post earlier this week where basically, Nick Cannon said, Who Wants to Have My Baby? And it seemed like it was going to be a TV show trying to find the next person who would, like a dating show, to find the next person that wants to have Nick Cannon's baby. So everyone was freaking out. Oh my God, he's already got what, like 12 kids. He's looking for a 13th with some random. That's not the case. This was all a publicity stunt for Kevin Hart and Nick Cannon's new television show that's going to be on E, which is called Celebrity Prank Wars, which is AKA Punked remade. And so they're basically getting all these celebrities together to try to I literally almost said punk each other, to prank each other. And so they've got Anthony Anderson, Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, Little Duval, Big E, Fantasia, Tiffany Haddish, like on and on and on. All these people are signing up to prank each other, and it's going to be the quote unquote the mother of all game shows that has already been redone, that was already done on MTV years ago. Are you
going to watch it?
I mean, yes. Listen, I'm sorry, but pranks, especially when you involve a celebrity and you're fucking with celebrities, like, yes, I will watch.
I don't even know what Channel E is anymore. You know, it's I don't even know if I get E anymore. That's
you don't even have to. All I care is that I see some of these pop up on social media, and I think it'll be funny because putting celebs in awkward situations, that's what made Punked so good. Is that you watch, like, seeing Justin Timberlake crumple and cry on his front driveway was like TV gold back then.
Yeah. I just started watching. I saw it on demand. It was like the new MTV Cribs, where it's just like the newer. And I actually enjoyed that because I get to see. I like MTV Cribs because I get to see celebrities' houses. But if I was a celebrity, I would not do that show because like it just makes people hate you in some ways. Like, they're making way too much money. As far as this show goes, I'll watch the clips online. I'm not going to run towards it, but I think I hate when people make lies within the media saying, oh, this is my new show, baby game show. Okay, that's the show. And then, no, I'm just kidding. That was a prank. The show is Prank Wars. I'm like,
what are you talking about? You love publicity stunts. What are you talking about right now?
Yeah, but I just don't. Do I really like publicity stunts or do I like?
Yes, because it's hard to get publicity these days. Like, it's not an easy thing. So if you can rile up people, get publicity to market a show, it's smart.
I'm not saying it's not smart. I'm just like, maybe if it was someone else besides Nick Cannon, I would get more excited.
You just don't like Nick Cannon or what?
I mean, I'm bored of him. You know, like, I mean, that's the best way to say it. Like, I'm not excited. He doesn't excite me. Not a bad guy in person, by the way. Nice guy in person. It's just the show doesn't excite me. You know, I'm watching like real shows like Pawn Stars and American Pickers on History Channel. Those are real shows
like Pawn Stars.
Yeah, those are the shows I watch, Dax. Okay, I don't watch
Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, Duck Dynasty. Exactly. All right, number 6.
All right, number 6. Avril Lavigne, Tyga clearly are together, even though they have still yet to comment or respond that they are dating. But they were seen kissing, photographed kissing during Fashion Week, and not only that, not just kissing, actually showing up to fashion shows dressed similar, like twinning at a fashion show. That is when you're a couple, right? Like, you don't show up dressed like someone if you're not a couple. That's some couple shit right there.
Yeah.
But the two of them are clearly together, which is still so bizarre to me. I don't know why I didn't picture them getting together. I feel like they're just from two different worlds. Like, in regards to like, Tyga to me is like the new Kardashian world, and Avril Lavigne to me is still like back 90s. From the 90s. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems weird that they've intersected here.
Avril Lavigne has been around though. Like, her, when it came to dudes, like, she's been around. She was with the guy from Sum 41. That was like her first guy. Then she was with Chad Kroeger from Nickelback.
Derek Whibley or whatever his name was.
Yeah, he was the one who had a little bit of drugs. Then she was with Chad Kroeger from Nickelback. And then she was with Brody Jenner. Remember she was a Brody?
I think what you don't realize is how young Avril was when she got into the music game. You know what I'm saying?
Wilmer Valderrama? Yeah.
She's still young. She's only 38 years old. But yet, in my mind, Avril is like 50, just looks young because she's been around for so long.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where it doesn't make sense. Like, I get it for Tyga. It just ruins, like, I don't know. It's like, I like I said in last week's episode, I don't understand Tyga. I don't understand the appeal of him. I don't understand the draw of him. I don't even understand how he makes money. to be honest with you.
I'm still amazed that, like with Avril, how did she disappear for 15 years and now suddenly everyone's talking about her all the time again? You don't see that very often. Someone who was on top of the world disappear and then come back and like suddenly back in the game again.
It's such an interesting hookup too. Like Tyga, you're into Avril Lavigne, you're into an emo girl, and then Avril Lavigne, like, oh, you're in, like, it just, the whole thing just, it doesn't make sense for me. It's so odd. It's just so out of left field, especially right after her breakup with Mod Sun. Mod Sun kind of spoke about the breakup and just, obviously he said in headlines he's just so grateful to have real friends. He's heartbroken by this. I thought Mod Sun was just more of a fit for her because she's an emo girl. He's sort of like a rock star. But she's like just dabbling her feet in all different, genres, from rock to hip hop to country.
You know what is also something that like is fascinating to people is the attention they get when they start dating. Like, we've seen it over and over again. This camera start going off, you start getting all this publicity because you're together. It's almost more intoxicating than the actual relationship itself. You're just like, oh, this is amazing. Everyone loves to see us together. Look how much publicity we get together. Like, that fuels it more than anything.
Yeah. All right, number 5. This is an interesting one.
This is an interesting one. Brandy Glanville, again, back in the headlines. So her legal team is demanding the release of audio and video footage from that Real Housewives Ultimate Girl Trip Season 4 incident that happened with Caroline Manzo. Basically, we talked about this a couple different weeks on the Raw Rundown, but Brandy Glanville was kicked off the Ultimate Girls Trip because of an incident that happened where she allegedly was groping and kissing Caroline Manzo, and it was very unwanted, and so she was asked to leave the trip, and this all went down while they were filming in Morocco. Well, now we've got Brandy's legal team who has sent a notice to Warner Brothers and Shed Media demanding they release the audio footage from the incident. They believe the recording will kind of clear their client's name. They said in a quote, "It's absolutely unacceptable that your company would knowingly and willingly allow such a story to take hold of the media without regard for the truth or the impact on Miss Granville's reputation." And then went on to say that Brandy's legal team noted that Peacock's decision to withhold the recordings is only a cynical ploy for ratings. And her lawyer continued, as you know, both from your investigation and the audio and video that you possessed, the 4 women that washed their hands before returning to the party where they enjoyed some food and chatted. Throughout, Miss Manzo appeared to be having a great time and didn't telegraph any signs whatsoever that she wanted Miss Glanville to leave her side. So, again, they're pushing that Brandy did nothing wrong, and then this is a ploy just to get everyone to tune in to Season 4 of The Girls Trip.
Yeah, it sounds, I think our lawyers did a good job. Like, let's see the footage. It's...
The fact that they want it out, I mean, I feel like that says a lot. That means that they really believe that she did nothing wrong, because why would you want it out if she did look bad? Yeah.
No, I think it's a smart move by the lawyers to ask for the content. Like, we just want to see it. Like, all right, well, let's just see it. And I guess they're going by Brandy's word. And, Bravo has just been on fire lately now between this and Vanderpump, which we'll get into, of course, obviously today. But it's, I'm curious how this plays out. And it's honestly because at the end of the day, it's like the video will be the truth of it. The video will kind of tell all what happened.
The other interesting thing that I didn't know about until reading this story was that there were 3 eyewitnesses who corroborate Brandy's actions. And 2 of the eyewitnesses were identified as Alex McCord and Gretchen Rossi. So just interesting that there were people that did come to her defense, because I thought she was out on an island by herself and everyone was like, this bitch crazy. But it seems like maybe she did get unfair. I don't know. We'll have to see. If they release it, I don't know if they will, because I think they would rather keep it for the television show. Yep.
Makes sense. All right, number 4.
Oh, so thinking back a couple months ago, we talked about Cara Delevingne and that wild video of her at the Van Nuys airport where she was stumbling around. She was wearing a Britney Spears shirt, but she had no shoes on. She looked completely out of it. Well, she revealed that she was She is 4 months sober after seeking treatment. She just said the way she was living was not sustainable. And a lot of that came because she got to see the photos and the video of her looking completely disheveled last year at the airport. And it was a wake-up call for her. And she says she's actually grateful for it. You know, most people would look back and be horrified by that video. And I think she's using it as that was pretty much a low moment, or maybe rock bottom for her to realize she needed treatment. So she went, and I guess she went to Cirque Lodge out in Utah, which is a
very expensive,
super famous and very expensive location where you can get rehab done. Lindsay Lohan went there, Eva Mendes, who else? Mary-Kate Olsen, Demi Moore, Kristen Dunst, Chris Klein, like, it is the place to go. And I remember Lindsay Lohan honestly put that place on the map for me, but it can cost anywhere between $20,000 to $50,000 a month to stay there. And it's out in the Rocky Mountains. It's beautiful. They have like art therapy rooms, recording studios, gyms, hair salons. So it's luxury, but it is a place for someone like Cara Delevingne to go and get the help that they need. So
I'm curious when it comes to a bill. Yeah, I'm curious when it comes to a bill like that, if they're actually paying it or they get the promotion from the celebrity talking about it, or if the celebrity has a rich friend who backs them and pays it for them.
I don't think that they need the publicity. I mean, I think there's enough rich people that are struggling with addiction that they can make that money. I don't think they need celebs doing that. I don't know if she paid for it or if she has someone that stepped in and said, "Hey, Cara,
pay for you.
You're going a little out of control." You know, because Taylor Swift could step in and say, "Babe, you need to go get help. I'll pay for it."
Yeah, I mean, we'll never know, but that's the part I'm curious. I know a lot of these celebrities hang out with other rich people to kind of fund them and support them. Because we think celebrities are rich, but there's another guy across the street that's even richer, and they just don't have the fame. So there's sometimes these wealthy people kind of sponsor in a way these celebrities just to have that kind of attachment or relationship to them. I did see Cara Delevingne earlier this year. I'm trying to think. No, not this year. Not 2000. Last year at some point. I think it was during the summer. I went to this party at the Vanderbilt, and it was this crazy sick party. A lot of influencers were there. Wyclef performed, and so did A$AP Rocky, and Cara Delevingne was there, and the mayor was there. It's a famous video. It's all over. And she was definitely on something because she was so manic and running around this party.
Oh, so it wasn't just alcohol. I thought you said she was drunk that night.
Oh, I don't know if she was drunk or she was on something else. I don't know what she was on, but she was definitely causing a scene. And people were like, dude, this girl is unique because she was like everywhere. She's like running around the party. Like, as a celebrity, you just don't see people doing that. So,
yeah.
But I'm glad that she is. She seek treatment. She's obviously in the right mental state now, and she's. I'm excited to see what she does next. Number 3.
Number 3, Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny sharing an embrace after a sushi dinner in LA. So I think that's, again, more, I guess, evidence that these two are, in fact, dating, even though no one's really talking about it. But Kendall Jenner is historically quiet about relationships. So, but I can tell you there's a lot of the Latin community up in arms that Bad Bunny would hook up with Kendall Jenner. I don't really know why that's such a big deal, but they went out, and this was on the heels of Justin and Haley and their dinner, and now they were going out with Kylie and I guess one of their family friends, Taco Bennett, and they went to dinner at Sushi Park. And so right as they're leaving, the photos show Kendall and Bad Bunny standing next to a car, and then they lean in, and it's hard to tell if it's just a hug or a kiss because their heads are kind of blocking that moment. But she's definitely got her like arm around his neck, her hand on the back of his neck, and he's wearing a Dodgers hat. I don't know. It's hard to tell what exactly is happening, but clearly they are spending a lot of time together. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. Again, we were talking about Avril Lavigne and Tyga before, and then we were talking about Kendall Jenner, Bad Bunny, and which of these two do I see? I kind of see the Kendall Jenner Bad Bunny relationship working out. And the reason I do is just I think Kendall sees the bigger picture, like how good for a brand.
I don't see it working out. I see it doing well for publicity for a time.
Yes, yes.
These are two extremely busy people. When the hell are you going to have time to like cultivate a relationship when you're constantly traveling around the world? Kendall Jenner is one of the most successful, highest paid models in the world. She is constantly traveling. And Bad Bunny is probably the most successful artist on the planet right now. So I'm sure he's getting pulled in 1,000 different directions. Do I see this working out long term? No. Do I see this being a good publicity move and good relationship topic? Yes.
I just would love to get the insight from a really good you would never know this, but when it comes to these celebrities dating and relationships, do the publicists put them together? Is there a meeting saying, hey, listen, this is where I'm at in my career, this could be good for both of us, do you want to kind of entertain a relationship?
I could see this being organic, where they run into each other at the Grammys, or they run into each other at the MTV Movie Awards, or whatever the case is. I could see them meeting each other and be like, this is exciting, this is interesting, for a music star to date a model, yeah, that happens all the time. If she broke up with, what was his name, Devin Booker? If they broke up because they didn't have time and their schedules are too crazy, she's definitely not going to have time to hang out with Bad Bunny.
I know 2 huge celebrities that were dating, and then they got engaged. And then the one celebrity kind of broke up while they're engaged, broke off the engagement with the other. But they didn't do it. Their team reached out to the celebrity and said, hey, it's over. It's not going to move forward. Wait, what?
Is that Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise. How'd you know? No, it's not Tom Cruise. I won't say the name, but it's kind of crazy that the team reached out and said, hey, listen, we're going to it's over now.
I'm sorry, you failed your audition. You cannot no longer audition to be Tom Cruise's girlfriend any longer.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
It's got to be interesting. It does happen, and that's why we're trying to get a celebrity fixer on the podcast. When I mean celebrity fixer, it's like the real life Ray Donovan, the person who's that private investigator that puts out fires, that causes There's a lot of that. In some ways, we do that. There's so many times I'm dealing with celebrity and hey, listen, can you control the narrative? Can you help me with this, or can we do that? I'm like, brother, you're paying your publicist a couple grand a month. Can you pay me a few dollars? And I'm like, what do I get out of this?
Why don't I invite you on and you could be Schmadam Flynn? And we'll talk to you, and you're the celebrity fixer.
Yes.
We'll blur out your face.
I just get the weird voice to it. Oh, man. All right, speaking of celebrity fixer and all that kind of stuff, private investigator, number 2.
Number 2, Tiger Woods. More drama in his life. This man is a magnet for drama unlike anyone else I've ever seen. And I was watching his Tiger documentary on HBO last night. I mean, the guy had the ability to be the biggest, most praised star on the planet, and he just keeps effing it up over and over and over again. Anyway, so his ex, Erica Herman, she is now going after him for $30 million and trying to open up the NDA that she signed. This is what she signed back when they first started dating back in 2017. She is citing a law that allows NDAs to be nullified in cases of sexual assault. She is not saying, however, she's not accusing him of sexual assault, but saying that that is a reason for her to not be able to keep her NDA. So I don't know where the misalignment is here, or how she's tying that in to get a judge to open it up. But she's basically saying that they had an agreement for her to live in his house and that he broke that agreement. It was an oral agreement. And because of that, she had another 5 years to stay there. And that would have turned into basically $30 million worth of quote unquote rent that he would now owe her. I don't know. This is a very strange case, and how it went so bad. Apparently, this was one of those situations like you talked about where she, I guess, claims that his people convinced her to go to the airport and pack up her stuff. And when she got to the airport, they basically told her, okay, you're done with Tiger. The locks have been changed. You're not welcome back in, and take your stuff and go. And yeah. I don't know if that's true or what the case is, but what a strange relationship. How does he get into these relationships, and what is he doing behind closed doors? I think Tiger's just not a good person. It's really what it comes down to. Yeah,
I mean, I think she's rightfully so. She's angry at how it all ended. What she plans to get out of this, I don't know. I think she just wants to talk about it. I really don't know, because obviously she can't speak about it yet, but once she files a lawsuit, court papers, that becomes public record, and then she's able to that becomes the story. So I think it's a way of hurting his, in ways she'll get paid more out of this to be like, hey, let's just settle and just figure this out. But it also was a punch in the stomach to Tyga saying, hey, I'm going to out what happened exactly. I'm going to do it the right way by, hey, I'm just filed a lawsuit against you. So it becomes public record, because if she just went after him first and said, give me more money, he would say F off. So interesting way of doing it.
He was starting to come back into good graces with people too. Yeah. People really starting to embrace him again after everything. That tampon incident that he had the other day, I feel like people frowned on that. Now it's I feel like he's ruining his legendary status, because there's so much crap in his personal life that you start to forget about what an amazing golfer he really was. And all you think about with Tiger is he's a cheater. Oh, he's slept with all these people. That's what you think about when you hear the name Tiger Woods, not this man. He really could have been the Michael Jordan of golf, which he was. You know what I'm saying? He really, the guy, again, watching this HBO documentary, phenomenal talent. And unfortunately, you start to forget how freaking good he was because of his private life. Yeah.
And the interesting part about this lawsuit, by the way, is I guess they had some oral agreement that saying that, again, they were just boyfriend, girlfriend, but because she was the girlfriend, she was entitled to millions and millions of dollars, though. A lot of money. So I think this girl wants to get paid based on the agreement they had, which this girl sounds like the most expensive girlfriend ever. Right? Wow, I'm going to pay to be my girlfriend.
That and Rachel Yucatel.
Well,
Rachel Yucatel, that whole thing ended up being, I think, an $8 million settlement at that time. And again, she always kind of said, hey, I'm the girlfriend. It was a relationship, not just some one night stand. Whatever. I don't want to get into all this. I just think that Tiger continually makes bad decisions, and he squanders a lot of money doing dumb shit.
On to the number one story of the week. It's all over the news because you guys keep clicking on it. Dax, explain to me what's going on.
Oh my God, this Raquel and Tom Sandoval cheating story has literally dominated the headlines for any of those people out there. Vanderpump Rules, these are two of the stars of Vanderpump Rules. Basically, Tom Sandoval and Ariana Madix were in a 10-year-long relationship, and he was sitting there cheating on her with one of her good friends and a co-star on the show, Raquel, and it has just blown up. And the best part about this whole thing was Adam was hanging out with two of the stars 2 days before this whole thing broke, and you missed a huge opportunity, bro.
Well, I actually knew. So I was with, Wednesday, I guess Friday, the news broke to the public. I was with Raquel and Sheena on Wednesday. They were doing some media Wednesday. Then I went with them to Rise New York, and we were together. And then I'm actually one of the people in our private Facebook group, Off the Record, actually let me know that I was in Sheena's vlog, which was kind of cool. But I was with them, and we went to Rise New York, and they were cool. And actually, it was funny. I was talking to them, and I'm not the biggest Vanderpump Rules fan. I follow the show, but I'm not the biggest fan. And I think a lot of people would say that show kind of fell off for a while. I think that's just the general opinion of a lot of people based on what I'm reading online. But this past season has been great, and now because of this whole storyline, I think people are really, really hooked and tuned in to see what happens next. But
no, unfortunately, this is the best possible publicity you could have for a show. Sucks for everyone involved, especially Ariana, but this is going to get a lot of people to tune in, as sad as that is.
Yeah, if I was Ariana, I would ask for double the pay, maybe because they need her on the show. I think you use this to your advantage. Now, I was with Sheena and Raquel on Wednesday night. They were doing Watch What Happens that night. Now, before they went to Watch What Happens, I was sitting there talking to Raquel and Sheena, and we were just standing outside Rise New York in Times Square. And I was like, do you guys get nervous before you do Watch What Happens? And they're like, no, we get excited for it. It's like adrenaline. I was like, oh, cool. We start talking. But then I think it was Sheena. No, Sheena was telling me that, this is the first time she's actually done the show with a friend. She's like, in the past, they always put me in, partner me with like weird people. Like one time I did it with Wolf Blitzer. Another time I did it with some other random person. This is the first time I'm actually doing it with a good friend of mine. So I was like, oh, okay. Didn't think anything of it.
Good friend for the next 20 minutes.
The next morning, I get a hit up from Sheena, and like Sheena hit me up about something and said, "Oh yeah, I got into a fight with Rock." I know they were on different flights back to L.A. and they were on different flights back, but they were staying at the same hotel. But Sheena said that she got into a fight with Raquel last night, and I was like, "Huh." I didn't watch What Happens, and I was like, did they fight on the show? But that's what I put in the Facebook group off the record. I was like, yeah, there was a fight last night. Later that day, this is on Thursday, I got hit up by a friend of mine, celebrity, that had very good ties to this whole relation, everything that was going on in Vanderpump World, and told me what happened. And I was like, whoa. The problem is for me, and this sounds so stupid, I went to the Arnold Classic last weekend, which is the Arnold Schwarzenegger bodybuilding convention in Columbus, Ohio.
I was so Arnold Schwarzenegger Pink Eye Classic.
I know, dude. I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, I was so consumed with that I couldn't focus on the story, and then the story broke out, and I was like, man, that was my story, and I knew everything that was going on. So the story broke, and I couldn't be involved. But I do know, like, obviously Ariana. Well, I don't think Ariana. Tom put out a statement. Raquel put out a statement.
Well, they put out statements. Let me say this for people that didn't follow the story. They put out statements basically apologizing to the fans and this and that. They did not apologize to Ariana. And then they put out statements a second time where they then did kind of address her and throwing an apology directly to her, because they got a lot of heat from the fans. Like, oh, that's cool. You apologize to everyone who's not really affected by it, but the one person who you should have said sorry to, you left off. So they did end up apologizing to her.
So the funny part is that Tom, when he posted something on his Instagram doing the apology, he took off the comments. Raquel left the comments open, so people are just shitting all over her on her Instagram, like, F you, Team Ariana, like, just, it's like, why didn't you take off the comments on that post? Because everyone was kind of going after her. I don't know if she was able to kind of get rid of it afterwards, but everyone was like, the comments were brutal.
You can turn comments off anytime.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So the comments were brutal against her.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what the video was that she found? By the way,
say that again?
Ariana. Do you know what the video was that Ariana found?
No.
So apparently, the video was a video of allegedly. Let's say the word allegedly, and I don't know if this is out there because there's so many stories coming out that allegedly there was a video of Raquel kind of touching herself, and she sent that to Tom, and then Ariana found the video, and Tom actually, again, this is allegedly, Tom like ran off with her phone, like try to get rid of it, but she already had access to the video. Like the video was already screenshot and everything like that, and it was a whole because I think she sent herself the video, so it was pretty nasty. I don't know what the latest is. Obviously, we're going to hear what's going to happen on Vanderpump. I think they're going to use this for the show. Will Ariana be involved? Will Tom be involved? I feel like it's too soon to be involved because every single day we're hearing so much stuff that's going on because they're filming as we speak. The reunion is coming up. So we don't know yet. I mean, we're taping this on a Thursday. We don't really know.
And the other part that you mentioned was this fight. Raquel apparently or allegedly got punched in the face by Sheena, right?
Yeah.
That was the whole other part of it, and that a judge did grant a temporary restraining order against Sheena. And so I don't even know how to say alleged because it seems like everyone's acknowledging it. It seems like Sheena's not backing down. Like, yeah, I'd punch anyone and I'd punch her in the face again if I needed to.
Yeah.
And because she is Team Ariana the whole way. Just, wow, what a bomb dropped on the Vanderpump Rules community.
It's just what the Bravo community needed. They needed that good storyline, that new gossip. And what happens is all these media outlets have computers, and they're able to see what stories people are clicking on. And we said this in the past, like Pete Davidson. People click on Pete Davidson. They click on those stories to see what's going on with him. This story just was blowing up, and the tabloids, they just had to keep repurposing these stories regarding this because it was just doing so well. And it's
fascinating. People love this crap. People love Unfortunately, a destruction story. All right, we got to wrap this up. I cannot believe it's already been over 40 minutes. We just can keep going. It's wild.
Yeah,
like we literally can just talk celeb news all day.
Crazy.
But we're not going to. We're going to wrap it up right now. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for listening in and letting us get you caught up on all the biggest stories of the week. This is our Raw Rundown. Make sure if you got some time, head on over to our iTunes page, find Hollywood Raw, scroll down at the bottom, leave us a review, 5 stars only. If not, then I don't want to read it. And say a good couple things, say kind of any feedback, or just praise us for being the most amazing podcasters there are out there. Right, Adam?
That's right. That's very true. Very accurate. Very true. Leave us a review. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram. We have a private Facebook group called Off the Record, which I'd highly suggest to join. Follow me at Adam Glyn. Follow Dax Holt at Dax Holt. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
What's up, guys? If you like that video, there's plenty more where that came from.
Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, so we can just feed you all the goodness daily.
Hurry up. Come on. Let's go.